I can't get over the fact that it looks weird, but it's okay. Or I look weird. I don't know. It is late, so I could be looking a little better, but it's fine. I wanted, first of all, um, I don't have a conversation. This is a lot of philosophical talk here. Um, so if you don't want to hear that, that's fine. Um, a lot of 3 a.m. thoughts type of thing. It's pretty late. I should be going to sleep, but or I should be sleeping, but I'm not because I finished facilitating a ceremony. I have a lot of energy, so I wanted to just kind of, I don't know. I don't have anyone to bounce off this idea with, and maybe I could just bounce it off by myself and maybe watch it, rewatch this, and then as I'm watching myself, maybe gain another perspective as I'm watching myself. Now, if you want to participate in this conversation, you totally can. Um, but anyway, I love reading this book. This is one of my favorite books, one of my favorite authors. Um, and he writes a lot of poetry. One of the books that I really love from his is the the Prophet, probably because it's nostalgic for me. Um, but I do feel like his books or his writing, especially in this one, I do find a lot of truth in them. And the one I'm gonna be talking about today is talking, ironically, because I'm gonna be yapping here. um, but I I understand what he's saying here, and I it's fine. I get what he's saying, but there's one line in particular. So if you want to like look him up and look for this author, the book The Prophet, and go to the section where he's the talking one. This one is just like a collection of his written works. But anyway, um, there's this line in particular that I'm going in a rabbit hole with, or going into a rabbit hole, and I'll just take you onto my 3 a.m. thoughts, I guess. Kind of. Just, late night thoughts. And that is, you talk when you cease to be at peace with your thoughts. You talk when you cease to be at your when you cease to be at peace with your thoughts. Um, I, I'm just gonna focus on that line and that line only because it just made me think. Um, you talk when you're not at peace with your thoughts, and it just made me think about the start, the beginning of life, the Big Bang, if you want to put it like that, or like even just the beginning of the creation of life. Um, and this is gonna go deep. You talk when you're not at peace with your thoughts. And if you think about it, time is an illusion. Um, because we're living in this dimension, this 3D dimension, time exists, right? Or the illusion of time exists. And that's fine. Um, that's fine that time exists in this dimension. It's just part of our growth, it's part of helping us evolve, and it's just part of its nature, um, part of the rules of this dimension, if you want to put it like that. And well, language is a reflection or byproduct of time. I mean, even right now, like there's all the, even you could literally look at it like, okay, we have terms that older generations are not gonna understand. Like, like I can't even think of anything on top of my head. Like yapping. Okay, maybe the older generation will understand that. I don't know. Just like I can't think of any, and we just have a lot. We have a lot of terminology, and we have a lot of and a lot of things like, oh, like spilling the tea, you know, OT, or I don't know. I can't even think of anything right now. Like, and I use them too. I can't believe it. But whatever. Uh, yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, yapping. Just I don't know. We just have a lot of Gen Z or Gen Alpha. We just each generation has its own terminology and its own slang, and these words are just a byproduct of time, right? So it just shows how far, like how far we are, you know. Um, and time is an illusion. The present, the past. I mean, yeah, the past, the future, all that is an illusion. And if you hypothetically wanted to fix time and make time non-existent, collectively as a consciousness, the conscious collective means to be in the present moment. If everyone in this whole world was present, we would possibly fix time, hypothetically. Um, Now, I'm just, yapping here. um, but oh, there's another one like X, like the Spanish, like I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna shut up. But um, brain rot. There you go. That's another word. Okay. The point being is that time is an illusion. So the past, the future, like everything is like time itself is an illusion. So collectively, if you wanted to fix time, hypothetically, right? Collectively as a whole, like every being in existence here needs to be in the present moment. And that's how we would hypothetically fix time. Um, because time is an illusion, and what really matters is the present moment. And when you're in the present moment, the past doesn't matter, the future doesn't matter, because You could create the future. The future is not set in stone. And in the past, it's also an illusion because it's just you're not there right now. Yes, it happened to you, and it happened to you in the past, but it's not like you right now thinking of a memory in the past, maybe a childhood memory. You're not that child right now. It's just a it's just a memory. It's just um I don't even know if I don't know if this is making sense. I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know if it's coming out um and making sense to you guys. But yes. And language is a byproduct of of time. At one point, collectively, like the quote said, we talk when you're not at peace. You talk when you're not at peace with your thoughts. And when you're in the present moment, those thoughts, you don't, it doesn't even matter. They're just thoughts. Um, but when you're disconnected, those thoughts affect you. They impact you. Maybe they give you anxiety. Maybe start feeling a certain way. Maybe you put too much importance, and that's when the future exists because you're worrying about the what ifs, and then or the different things that could happen, and um and then you have depression because you're reminiscing in the past. So um but they're just, and when you're in the present moment, those thoughts are just thoughts. Like it doesn't, it's whatever. um and as collectively, if we were all to be in the present moment, the time itself would fix, it would heal, it wouldn't exist. um Hypothetically, right? um but yeah, um it's just crazy how far off we are, like how disconnected we are because we were so in our thoughts, and we're just so in our minds that language exists and we just start talking. And sometimes we just be talking just to talk. We don't even know what the fuck we're saying. um Even now, like, what the fuck am I actually saying? Like, most of you guys probably aren't gonna understand, and that's okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm overthinking it now, right? And this is just an see. Oh my god, because I'm rambling. So look, this is literally an example of what this quote is saying, right? Because I am so in my thoughts. Um, I am just even over speaking and trying to make sure that this makes sense to you because I'm trying to make I already make sense to me, even to a certain degree, right? Um it makes sense to me, but I want you to understand what I'm saying. So I'm over I'm just word vomiting so it can make sense, putting words together so you could comprehend what my brain is comprehending. But and it's just, if we look at the Bang Bang, there was most likely no noise. It was just quiet. I would assume it was just silence. Maybe just those woo, you know what I mean? But even then, why is that woo, right? That the sound of the vibration of maybe the, I don't know. And I'm not saying language is a bad thing. And I'm not saying that time is a bad thing. And I'm not, because language is very helpful. We could communicate, we could help each other in one way or another. I'm communicating to you, and you are communicating to me. And we both are communicating to help each other, or or even just to connect. It doesn't even have to be like, when we connect and we talk, it's impactful, even if it's for good or for bad or even for neutral, right? um but um as a collective, we have probably gone a little too far off. I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know. Just, these are just words. I'm just talking. I'm just, this is the rabbit hole I'm going into. And I think it would be easier if I had a person to talk and to bounce off this conversation with, and I don't, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll just anywho, um yeah, we literally were one at one point. We were all one collectively. We all separated into these different experiences, into these different individual specks of consciousness. I don't know, it just makes me think like, okay, before conversations and before talking in language, it was silence. And then it was the sound of the vibration. And the vibrations, the sound of the vibration became some sort of maybe grunts, sound like grunts or stuff, if that makes sense. I don't know. And just like, okay, we went from silence to the sound of vibrations to maybe grunts or murmurs or I don't know how we would describe that, just sound. um and then and then we started communicating with gestures. Wow. Wow. I didn't even think about gestures until right now. Wow. Okay. Because even that's a form of language, right? We started, you know, probably the cavemen didn't have, I don't know. I have no idea about this, but I would assume that cavemen did not have the same language as us. Obviously, they were able to communicate with each other, um, but by making certain noises or making certain sounds, or and then maybe like gestures as well, and then we got more sophisticated because we were so in our thoughts and we were so disconnected that we started making words, and we started to, and even those words with each generation, most, like, I'm so sure Gen Alpha and Gen X, like, they would not be able to, if they were to talk with their slang, they're not even gonna understand what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna understand what, like, skibbity, like brain rot, like, and maybe they'll understand just because we have social media and we have, or maybe they have family members and they explain it to them, but it's just one of those things. Like, we just have different terminologies, and we're just so disconnected. And what if we didn't have slang and we didn't change or add any words, and then from there go just reverse it back to silence because we're all at peace with our thoughts. I don't know. I know what I'm trying to say. And I don't know if any of you guys are going to understand. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you for hearing me vent. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. But I don't know. It just, talking is amazing, but it also makes me think, like, I don't know. Talking is just like one of those things where I think about the pro and con, if that makes sense. Like, talking does help us communicate, but um, also shows us, like, time is an illusion. Language is a byproduct of it. And we were so disconnected and so not at peace with our own selves, our own thoughts, that we went so far. And we did this, if that makes sense. I just, sometimes it's hard for me to communicate in words when it comes to things like this. But yeah, I just hope it made sense. And I wish I had another me to just talk about this and help me bounce this conversation, because doing it alone is a little difficult. Like, I could do it in my brain, and I don't know if you ever feel like that, but it's interesting. I might delete this later, maybe not. If anything, I'll probably remake this so it's maybe a little bit more clear. But I, I think that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it right there because I could do a whole hour on this, and I'm not gonna do that because I didn't go to sleep. I'll definitely be thinking about it for an hour, knowing myself. I don't know. I just wanted to say that out there. Maybe someone will be intrigued by this, even if it's just one person. Anyway, I don't know what time it is when you're watching this, but for me, it's a good night. Um, love you guys. I'll talk to you on the next one. See you next time. I love you guys. Peace. And yeah, time is illusion. Language is a byproduct. We're so disconnected, and we've dwelled in our thoughts that we just made language more sophisticated. And don't get me wrong, talking is a wonderful thing. That's how we communicate with each other and unite and help each other guide into oneness. But we were so far off, dwelling in our thoughts, in our minds, in our brains, that we did this. And now it's just reversing it back. But what about telepathy, though? Oh my god, I'm gonna go on a whole different rabbit hole if I go down to the telepathy. I can't do that to you guys. You guys, I'm not gonna do that to you guys. I'll let you guys be saved on this one. It's already long enough. All right, let you guys go. Bye, peace, deuces.